Yo, sup guys? This is Leon Mooky here, and I'm back with another part of What If Izuku Had a Job Class Quirk. This is part 7. In the last part, Izuku and Kodai basically took on Bakugo and Shoto, with Izuku basically beating Bakugo once again, and not only that, also beating Shoto, who basically was holding himself back without using his flames against Izuku. Not only that, Kodai decided to become a close friend to Izuku. With that, Izuku thanks her for trying. So with that said, let's get into this, shall we guys? On the third day for the first month of UA, Izuku plans on walking to UA. However, he sees that there are tons of people in front of the UA building, with Izuku basically that of annoyed, realizing of course they would only be here for All Might, with Izuku saying, it's normal. Just get past them without saying anything. As Izuku basically walks past all of them with annoying all their, questions and asking about what he thinks of All Might. As if he did talk about All Might, he would go on that of a huge ass rant, saying on how much of an amazing hero he is, even though his quirk is suppressing his emotions after all, until he uses it. With soon, Izuku is that annoyed and was able to get by with no problems whatsoever. However, he soon turned around, feeling like there was some crazy pressure behind him, something of that of malevolent bloodlust, not to the same level as Toga, of course. As he was wondering, she's not here, as he knows that she's not here, because he made it clear to not come to UA, because if any of the teachers found out that she was here, who knows what they would do to her, and he couldn't allow that to happen to her, of course. With soon, Izuku arriving into Class 1A, with Kaminari and a couple others in Class 1A talking about the media outside, with soon Jiro basically busting his bubble, telling that the media is only here for All Might, with a couple more students coming in, such as Bakugo, Ida, and Ochako, with soon Yuri behind Izuku saying, are you okay, Midoriya? Saying, huh? Oh, thank you, Kodai. Fine. You don't have to worry about me. Saying, I think that's a lie since you're basically suppressing your emotions as usual. Saying, not by choice, of course. Saying, you're right. My apologies. With soon Izuku saying, it's alright. You didn't mean it. You didn't mean anything bad by it. With soon Aizawa coming in through the door and saying, shouldn't you all be quiet by now? With saying this, everybody soon quiets down, saying, good. As Aizawa began explaining the situation, began going over, everybody's battle training, basically telling those who did well but still need some training, while also telling those who also failed that they don't need to worry too much, that they're strong on their own, but still need to improve somewhat. Within, he also begins going down the order and telling them that they need to choose a class rep for Class 1A, with soon everybody wanting to choose themselves. However, Izuku basically didn't care too much, as internally he already knew the role of class rep, mostly because he was the class rep back in his junior high school, due to his popularity, of course. But as a class rep here in UA, it would get, once you go out to an agency that you sign off with after graduating, you can shows that you have great leadership skills. Personally, Izuku's more of a lone wolf type, so why would he need to be a leader of a bunch of novices, after all? As soon, Ida basically suggests that we should have a vote and decide on who should be class rep, after all. And after saying this, he also has his hand up with a few basically noticing that he wants to be class rep just as badly as everyone else. But soon, everyone put it to a vote, and Izuku is, well, the class rep, and the person with the second highest votes being Momo, with Momo actually kind of happy that she's, well, fellow class rep with Izuku after all. But Izuku is kind of annoyed because he knew that this was going to happen. He just didn't know and how much he was going to win. As this time, instead of just 3 votes, he had 4. Izuku was content with the decision and basically didn't want to, well, bother about it too much anyway. With soon, lunch begins with a couple minutes pass when a alarm settle as an alarm begins to go off, with everybody in the cafeteria begins panicking like crazy. But soon, Izuku begins thinking, this is ridiculous, as he already knows that it's most likely the media that got through, but he doesn't know how the hell did they get through in the first place. As he's saying, doesn't matter, let's just get this over with. As he switches to his subclass and then changing it to Dragoon, it says subclass Dragoon activate. As he activates his Dragoon class and then jumps as high as he can to the nearest exit. As soon he brings out one of his spears, as he wasn't too picky and decided to use his iron spear and then plant it into the wall while hanging on to it with one hand and then screaming as loud as he can to tell them to calm down, that it's not a villain attack. It's just the media who got through. With soon, he tells one of them to look outside and confirm it for them. With soon, a couple people began to confirm what Izuku said is the truth. As everybody begins calming down, with that, everybody begins walking through and back to their classrooms in an orderly fashion. Soon, with it now being cleared, Izuku jumps down, bringing back his spear towards him. With that, Izuku takes a deep breath and saying, how ridiculous. I can't believe it that they would let themselves get panic over something like this. As soon begins thinking, but how could the alarms go off like that? None of the media would have a strong enough quirk to get through that gate. If I last recall from interviews about the UA security system, it's basically indestructible. Even All Might has a hard time busting through it with just one punch or two. So, who would be strong enough to destroy a gate that even All Might would have a hard time getting through? After thinking about this for a moment, he decided to talk to Principal Nezu about this and said that there's most likely somebody that was on campus besides just the media that probably used the media as a distraction to get something. If I know it seems off, but what soon Principal Nezu is saying, I understand what you're saying, Midoriya. And personally, I can understand what you're coming from, and your worries are not found off. To be honest, I believe that we're already on to investigation on wondering what happened and how the media got by. So you have nothing to worry about. It's saying, do you believe me, sir? If you feel you may be looking out to the gate, you should probably go through the teacher's office as well and see if anything was taken, or if anything from other classes were taken as well. Just making sure. As soon saying this, he bows in front of his principal and leaves his office. With that, Principal Nezu saying, this boy is on a whole other level. Because of his words, I should take things a lot more serious precautions. This does seem a little too off, after all. As soon, he calls to Aizawa, who's outside checking on the gate, as Aizawa tells him that the gate looks like it's been decayed from the outside, and was completely turned to dust. With wondering who could have a quirk like that strong enough to destroy it. Soon after the school day ends, Izuku gets a phone call from his boss telling him that he doesn't need to come into work today, that he found somebody to take his night shift after all, on weekends after all. So he doesn't need to worry about coming in. As Izuku tells him it's all right and hangs up. But soon Izuku thinking, the only reason you got someone new to replace me is because I'm now a UA student. You want to take the chance of saying that you had a top-ranking pro from UA as one of your employees, so you can ride on my clout once I debut as a pro. How ridiculous. As soon Izuku put his phone up, thinking, personally, I could care less about the job anymore. It doesn't even give me a lot of skill points anymore. I only gain 100 skill points each night. That ain't much. As soon he begins thinking, hell, all my current skills when I promote to my secondary classes take at least 5,000 to at least 15,000 to unlock new skills and weapons. This is ridiculous. But as soon he looks at all of his skill points, as it ranging from at least 372,000 skill points that he has all in total, as he already decided to promote his white mage class, as the two classes ranged from sage and priest, as the sage class allowed more offensive spells besides just healing spells as well. So they'd be a lot more easier on battle. Not only that, the mercenary skill allowed cooldown for spells to increase a lot more faster than usual. As for the priest class, it focused more on healing arts than anything, but also allowed sacred arts as well, being some which can cause status effects towards enemies, such as burns, poisons, paralyzations, and freezing as well. Not only that, its personal skill allowed staff-based weaponry, such as the War Monk class as well, with soon Izuku thinking that he would already have quite the offensive class once he maxes out his Black Mage class. So he focused more on the Priest class, which allows him to use more healing skills and status skills, which is not too bad for him if he does say so. With that, he thinks that next time he will try to upgrade his Black Mage class, or rather, he decides to put all of his skill points in a class he hasn't really did much with, or hasn't even unlocked once, that being the Marauder class. As he has tons of skill points that he can use to put into that beginner class, which he does. He unlocks the class, and he now is able to promote to the secondary class, which cost him at least 5,000 skill points, which he can probably regain when he goes back to UA for hero training, of course. With soon the secondary classes being Warrior and Brigand. The Warrior class allows more on attack and defense, which its main passive skill allows a secondary weapon being shields, which is able to defend from any attack, any physical and any long-range attacks. However, the damage will not do much when it comes to magical damage when using a shield. As for the Brigand class is similar to that of the Thief class, but focuses more on offense than speed, actually. As once defeating a foe, you can take whatever they wished, being its passive skill, being mugging, after all. Which Izuku saw the Brigand class and thought, I'm not a freaking villain. Screw that class. As he chose Warrior class. as he realized he needed more of a defensive class, as his specialty may be speed, but however, he does need something that can take a lot of hits and allow him to still keep on moving forward after all. So yeah, warrior class it is. However, doing this basically does halven his emotions even more, as he feels a lot more dead inside, even though that's far from the case on how he truly feels. With soon Tsuyu coming up behind Izuku as saying, "Hey Midoriya, are you okay?" Saying, "Oh, I'm never better, Asui." Saying, "Tsuyu, you can call me Tsuyu or Sue." Saying, "I don't think I have the pleasure of calling you that. After all, I don't really see us as friends. We're just classmates after all." With Soon saying, "So you'll call me Sue if you think of me as your friend?" Saying, "Of course." Yes, then. "Okay then. How about we spend time together?" Saying, "What?" Is she's saying, "Do you have? Oh, but do you have to work?" Is saying, "No, I don't have to work tonight." "That's good. So let's spend time together." As Suzuki's saying, "Okay then. What time do you want us to meet?" As she's saying, 6 o'clock. As she soon types something in her phone saying, "Meet me at this location. Can you give me your..." As Izuku grabs her phone and then goes to her contacts and puts in his phone number, saying, "Here, if you want to contact me." And saying, "Thanks." As soon the green-haired frog girl leaves from the somewhat emotionless hero in training, with soon Izuku saying, I hope I can get my emotions back one day. I hope you're right about that, Dad." As soon time goes by and Izuku meets with Tsuyu, with Soon saying, "Wow, you look pretty. I had help from a friend." As soon he remembers when he was getting ready, with Toga actually getting somewhat pissy that she can't spend time with Izuku today, as saying, "Well, if you help me," if you help me with basically give me an outfit for today, then I'll spend time with you tomorrow." As she basically agreed to it instantly. With that, the two just spend a little bit time together, just hanging out, walking around, and also going to a couple of cafes, and then also ending it with them actually catching a movie. With soon Izuku saying, "I actually enjoyed myself today. I haven't had this much fun in a while. I've mostly been trying to get myself stronger over the years." As she's saying, you seem way more emotionless than you did before, Midoriya. Tell me, what is your quirk, actually?" Saying, "I was wondering when you were going to ask. My quirk, it's called Job Class." As he begins explaining everything that it does to her, and also its negative side effects as well. As soon Tsuyu couldn't help but feel saddened, as she begins crying, really, as Izuku saying, "Asui, why are you crying?" And saying, "Because you can't anymore, can you?" As Izuku's eyes begin widening, as saying, "I get it. I somewhat have the same issue with my quirk too. Back then, when I was in junior high, a lot of people just thought I was weird because I didn't really have that. I couldn't really express my emotions. And due to that, people thought I was kind of alone throughout most of my life in junior high. Until I met somebody who became my friend. She was my first friend in so long. And because of that, I want to be friends with everybody. I want to be friends with everybody in Class 1A. Not only that, I'm pretty good at reading people's emotions and reading the room as well, and what they're about to say. So it's the reason why I kind of knew that you were, well, kind-hearted guy, but you felt like you couldn't express it by the way you speak. So I wanted to know, were you like this? Or is it due to your quirk? Now I know. I'm so sorry, Midoriya. As Izuku's saying, why are you apologizing? This is the quirk I was born with. The quirk that was given to me. So, it can't be helped. I just have to deal with it. And just continue getting stronger. I'll find a way to get my emotions back. It's just gonna take time. With soon, Izuku saying, thanks for listening to me, Asui. Or, thank you for listening, Sue. With soon saying, you call me Sue. Doesn't this make us friends now, after all? I just expressed one of the most personal aspects of my quirk to you, after all. With soon, see you saying, yeah, I guess so. It does make us friends. Izuku, right? Can I call you Izuku then? Saying, sure. I could care. You can call me by Midoriya, Deku, or even by my name, Izuku. I don't mind. Since we are friends, though. With then the two going off, as for some reason, Izuku couldn't help but grab Tsuyu's hand, and just didn't know why. Just felt like he needed to. With then the next day, classes go the same as usual before Aizawa began explaining that today's hero course training will take place in an off-campus facility where they'll be focusing on rescue training. So tell them that they can wear their hero costumes if they want, but they can't wear their gym uniforms if they haven't gotten complete use to the hero costumes. For Izuku, this is no problem, due to his quirk being his hero costume after all. So yeah, no problem whatsoever. With that, the day finally comes by for hero studies training, as Izuku is still just wearing a jacket and jeans as usual. Within, Ochako and Tsuyu walking to Izuku, with saying, hey there, class rep, with Izuku saying, none of that, just call me by Midoriya or Deku or whatever. And you don't need to call me Mr. Class Rep. With Ochako having that of a pouty face saying, oh, you're no fun, Deku. With Tsuyu saying, now, no need to be like that, Ochako. With soon, Izuku couldn't help but crack a smirk at that, but without them even noticing, he did, saying, come on, I think we should get on the bus by now. But soon, Yuri couldn't help but notice on how Izuku is acting a lot more. He seems a lot more chatty, but still pretty distant after all. With then, even Jiro couldn't help but notice too that Izuku is a lot more distant, as she did take a liking into the boy, but now she just doesn't know what to think about him anymore. With soon, on the right there, everybody begins talking about on how popular they would be, how interesting their quirks are, and also their personalities as well. With soon see you saying, hey Midoriya, your quirk is pretty cool, especially since it's like a video game after all. With Izuku saying, I get that a lot, which is understandable because it is like a video game. With soon Kaminari saying, dude, I am so jealous of your quirk. With then Kaminari gets hit in the head with that of a lug nut, saying, ow, hey, who threw this? But soon it being Yuri, but she didn't really say anything. And still just looking forward, saying, whatever. With soon he's saying, don't trust me. There are things that happen when it comes to this quirk of mine. Just letting you know. With soon Bakugo not saying anything, as he also knows about Izuku's quirk, but still getting a little bit aggravated after all. With then soon Momo saying, but I have to say, you are really impressive, Midoriya, being able to take on two powerful classmates of ours, single-handedly at that. with Izuku saying, I just basically exploited their weaknesses, and I knew Bakugo since we were kids after all. So taking him down was easy enough for me. As for Todoroki, well, I'd rather not go into details unless he was willing to, after all. With Shoto getting somewhat annoyed at that comment and looking straight at Izuku. Within, the conversation finally ends with everybody getting off the bus and are now introduced to the space hero herself, 13, as Izuku is eternally fanboying over the space hero, as he does like her as a rescue hero after all. But soon even notice Uraraka was trying to contain her fangirlsness over 13, with soon Izuku saying, you shouldn't hold it back. If you want to geek out over 13, you have the chance to do it after all. With soon Ochaka saying, really? As she wanted to squeal like crazy seeing her idol after all. Within, 13 began explaining the situation behind the USJ to help them understand help them with disaster rescues after all. With also telling them that their quirks can be easily used to kill. With Izuku knows, I know my quirk can be easily used to kill. All my abilities can be used to kill if I don't hold back about them at all. But soon, he begins feeling that of the same pressure as he did before, as he realized, you gotta be shitting me. As then, he walks forward past Aizawa and 13. As soon, a dark portal begins to appear in front of Class 1A and below them, though, with soon a man with hands coming out of it, as then multiple other figures began to appear as well, with the last one being a man with dark skin and that brains coming out as well. But soon Kirishima saying, are we doing battle training again? I thought for sure we're doing rescue training. But soon, as I was saying, Midoriya, get back, saying, as he soon says, War Monk class, activate. As then he goes into his War Monk main class, as he soon says, weapon, power gauntlets. As he brings out his most powerful gauntlets being power gauntlets. With soon, he jumps down as fast as he can. Within, as I was saying, Midoriya! Midoriya! As internally he says, I will not let them hurt them. I'll be the one to attack first before these bastards could do anything. That I swear it. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I would love to read them. Also, not sorry about it being left off a cliffhanger. I didn't want this script to be too damn long. But whatever, it's saying, but also please hit that notification bell and to get updated on my videos, because it really does help. I mean it, guys. Also, please check out my Discord and my gaming channel if you feel like it. My Discord, if you guys have any what ifs you want to suggest to me, and also my gaming channel if you want to see me play games and just relax for a bit. So, with all that said, this is Mooky, signing out. Later, guys.
Hi everyone, this is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video, click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell and check out his playlists. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!